Okay, we let the video get started here. Happy 4th of July weekend. Hope you're having a great time, relaxing just a little bit, not too much because there's a lot to be done. Let's get some housekeeping things out of the way first. The following people, I'm using your fantasy name, the following people: Bomber, Apollo, Car, Boxer, and then a couple of people that I had to give fantasy names to because they still haven't sent them in: Blue and Green. You have not sent an ID. If you do not send the ID by this week, your speeches will no longer be counted. If you don't get your speeches counted, you cannot pass this class. Okay, is that fairly clear? Your photo ID was supposed to have been submitted the first week. I still don't have it. Again, Bomber, Apollo, Car, Blue, Boxer, and Green. I do not have a photo ID for you, and in the absence of a photo ID, you cannot pass this class. All right, let's talk about a whole bunch of things and see how you did on some of that as we go along. If you will notice, and I don't know if you can see this or not, let's get it in here kind of close. There is a kind of a instruction of what you're supposed to do. And this is the instruction sheet for your speech number 2, which was the process speech. Also online is one of these things, and this is kind of the rubric that I use to judge your speech. So you can take a look at this and see what kinds of things you're going to be judged by. So take a look at those. So let's go over this, the process speech. Maybe the best way to explain a process speech is watch a cooking show. Watch how they do cooking shows. Watch how they get from this point to this point. Now, you know full well that some of the things they do take longer to do than the program does. So they go through and they kind of condense some of the steps. That's what you need to do in a process speech, especially if you're showing me something. Never, but never in a process speech start off talking about something that's going to end up with an end product and not show me what the end product looks like. Now that means, like on the cooking show, if you notice, they put the thing they're baking into the oven and then they say, and here's what it looks like when it's all done. Okay, that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. Now, housekeeping rule number 1796, or maybe 1776 since it's 4th of July weekend. You cannot do any more speeches on a topic you have already used. If you're a nurse, nothing else depending on healthcare. If you're an astronomer, nothing else depending on astronomy, telescopes, anything like that. If you're a geologist, nothing more dealing with rocks and geology and any of that kind of stuff. Part of the speech class is to expand your horizon, to figure out how to do new things and get to new places. So nothing you have already done will, any topic you've already done can be done again in the rest of this class. If you're a basketball player, nothing more about basketball. And we'll talk more about some of those things as we go. Now, more housekeeping. I don't know how much more I have to say about the composition I need to see in your picture. See this picture? Look at it right here. An inch or two above my head and roughly the bust line, mid-chest line. I can't see you if you don't show me this shot. All right? If you have a visual that you're going to show, hey, all right, if you can't get it in this picture, then send me a copy of the visual and I will look at it. You can say, on the visual that I'm holding, you can see. A lot of you are doing visuals and saying, I can see something, and you know what? I can't see it. Because, number one, the shot is too far away for me to see it. I can't even see you, let alone what it is that you're talking about. All right, visuals. Number 2, this shot right here, that's the shot we want to see. This is the same shot for your audience. The audience has to come at the beginning of the speech only, in front of the camera, pause right here, look at the camera, and do that for about 5 seconds. And here is 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how long they need to be there. Be nice if they said their name. Hi, I'm Keith Klein, and I'm audience member number 2. And then wait a couple of more seconds and move out. Next person moves in. All right, audience. That's what you do on the audience. We don't need applause. We don't need any reaction from the audience. Talk to me, not the audience. I need you to be looking at me. And if you don't have this shot, even if you're looking at me, I can't see you. Eye contact, that's huge. If I can't see your eyes, it's very hard for me to judge your speech. Okay, audience, composition of the shot. Remember, we've said this time and time again, the microphone is on the camera. The camera needs to be close to you. Don't zoom to this shot. Move the camera to the shot, and then work from there. I had people that, in terms of the audience, who walked by, all I saw was a shoulder, because the person that the camera was set up for, I guess, was 7 feet tall, and so that's what we saw. Or they came through and it was, I mean, you can't imagine what it's like. And how about all of this stuff that I'm talking about now? Does it have anything to do with the quality of your speeches? No. No, but I can't judge your speech until you take care of those things. All right, there's a deadline for the speech, a time it's supposed to be here. The last time around, that was supposed to have been here on Monday, and let me check my little calendar here that I keep handy. It should have been here on Monday. Let me get the right calendar here. Monday, June the 27th. And some of you got it on time, and some of you didn't. You need to make sure that you get your speeches to me on time. The deadline is noon on the day the speech is due. Some of you are not doing the tests, the exams. That has to be done. Some of you are not doing the discussion boards. And I just clicked on something and the picture disappeared. That's why I'm sounding kind of funny right now. Make sure you do the discussion boards. You're leaving points on the table. Make sure you do the exams. Make sure you do the exams by the deadline. Those are all fundamental things that if you'll do, it really helps in terms of trying to get things done. All right. What else do we find out when we look at the process speech instructions? It was supposed to be 5 to 7 minutes. I kind of allow you a little slop time, so let's say it's 5 minutes. So I'll let you go 4:45 to 5:15. All right? But 5 to 7 minutes theoretically implies that you've got from 4:45 to 7:15. 3 minutes does not come in there. 8 minutes and 30 seconds does not come in there. You have got to hit the time. And frankly, if I was in charge of this, 5 to 7 minutes would not be allowed. That's 2 minutes that you can be way off. That's just not acceptable to me, but we'll give it to you. Speaking outline and preparation outline, both required for this speech. Some of you didn't send either. And by the way, some of you sent something to me as part of an email and an attachment, and then when I open it up and print it off, your name's not on it. There's no indication of what it is. I'm not going to guess. I can't figure out what you're trying to tell me if you don't tell me yourself. And delivery method, it says extemporaneous. They'll describe that to you. It talks about sources. It talks about visual aids. And it talks about all the things that you need to know in order to have that. Now I'm switching to the grade sheet that I use. Gained attention and interest. How do you get my attention when you started? Then introduce the topic clearly. What is it you're going to be talking about? And maybe even sometimes, why are you going to be talking about it? And number 3 on that, established credibility. You know, some of you got on and you talk about something like you're the world's greatest expert, and I don't have a clue in the world who you are to be talking about that. And oh, by the way, some of you talked about stuff that frankly needed sources. You can't say some of the stuff you say without citing a source for it, and many of you did that, not citing a source. But sometimes, let's say you're going to do a cooking thing. You say, all of my life I have been interested in cooking, and since I was a little boy or a little girl, whatever, I have experimented with stuff. Okay, that took maybe 30 seconds to say, and it establishes your credibility. Some of you, if you're doing something on health and you say, I'm a nursing student, and one of the things that we learn in nursing is X, and I want to show you that today. You've established some credibility. All right. Then you have main points clear, main points fully supported, all kinds of things like that. Outline formatted properly. There's a thing in here for speaking outline, overall quality, preparation outline, overall quality, prepared the audience for the ending, summarize main points, vivid ending. Some of you just die at the end of your speech, and you come into something and say, and so that's what I want to talk to you about today. God, come on, people. You can do better than that. Begin the speech without rushing. Some of you start your speech like, okay, today I want to talk to you. Like, whoa. Not only can I not understand you, you're going so fast I couldn't if you were clear. Strong eye contact. If I can't see you, there can't be strong eye contact. Vocal variety. Remember we talked about pitch, pace, tone, volume, and silence. That's some of the stuff that goes into vocal variety. Avoided distracting mannerisms. And never in the speech do I hear tisk from your mouth, or you're not always doing this, or you're not, and then we, those kinds of things. Those are distracting mannerisms. Be careful what you do. Communicated enthusiasm. If you don't care about the speech, why should I care about the speech? That's really important. You presented visual aids well if you did. You met the assignment. The topic was useful and interesting. You completed the speech in the time allowed. You held the interest of the audience. In this case, I'm your main audience person. You met the audience requirement. The message was adapted to the audience. And you submitted the speech on time. Okay, that's all housekeeping stuff. We'll get in now to the critiques of your speech on the next tape.